Hello, welcome to Lunch for the Soul. My name is Melissa Wilson, and I am in the Fox 26 Houston newsroom. It's a busy place. You never know what's going to be happening here. So, we're going to hope for no breaking news today because I have a really special family to introduce you to. They have done everything they can to fight for their precious son's life, incredible advocates for him. They're a beautiful, loving family, and I know you are going to fall in love with them just as I did. So without further ado, let's bring in the Lewis family. Hello, everybody. How are you all?
Good. How about
Great.
you?
Oh, I'm so happy to see you here. You have a very dramatic testimony to share, and I'm just so thankful that you're here to talk to us about that. So let's start. First of all, talk to introduce everybody. We have Jessica and Milton, the parents here. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul. And then on left screen, I believe is your Olin. Is that right?
Yes,
In the
ma'am.
blue? Yes. Hello, buddy. And then we have Milton the fourth, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I'm happy that we have you here. And I also got to meet your precious dog a minute ago. So I hope that we'll get a special, unexpected visit sometime throughout this conversation. Well, let's talk about what your family does because you have been blazing a trail between your home and Katy to Clear Lake to help treat Milton or Olin's disease. So let's talk first of all what he was diagnosed with.
He was diagnosed with a rare kidney condition. It's called FSGS. I'll leave it up to the experts to let you know what that stands for, because there you go.
It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, so he was diagnosed with that, and we were very, very blessed to be diagnosed in what I would call such a short time frame. Plenty of times this goes undiagnosed for years. A lot of times it's often called especially for men, somewhat the silent killer, because it's very hard to pick up and know what's going on with them. So we definitely consider ourselves blessed in having a diagnosis as quickly as we've gotten one.
I do think that that makes such a big difference. And then to have a specialist and their entire medical team that you trust is so
Right.
huge. So let's talk about Clear Lake and what made you end up working with UTMB so closely because it is a rare disease. I'm sure there aren't that many specialists who know a ton about it, right?
Right. Yeah. So he was, not to get too much into the weeds of it, but we were actually notified by his allergy doctor when we brought him in. We thought maybe he had allergies. His eyes were swelling up in the mornings and things like that. And it was his allergy doctor that first told us, hey, I think that this is kidney related versus allergies, what you think you're here for. So he kind of pointed us in the right direction. It was a little bit of a whirlwind of 24 hours. And after taking him in, thinking he had, allergies, all of a sudden we were being admitted to a hospital less than 24 hours after. And there he was diagnosed with what's called nephrotic syndrome, which is way more, I don't want to say common, but it's more typical. And that syndrome can go multiple different routes, right? So they start treating it the one way. So we did that. We were in the hospital about a week. They were getting his swelling down. They got, he was apparently retaining a lot of fluid. So we spent time in there, and once we were released from there, we were given very strict guidelines. We had to reduce sodium, we had to do daily testing, and we did it, and we did it diligently, and we made sure that we stayed on track. And as we saw his levels rising, our care team at the time, I would call, and they were like, oh, okay, just keep monitoring. We'll see you in a couple months. And my mom heart, I was thinking, we just got out of the hospital and his levels are rising. I don't want to wait 3 months. So I decided to just randomly go to an urgent care and ask for them to do a further urine analysis beyond what we do at home. And there is where I call it divine intervention, where I met Ashley Moses with UTMB. She was just happened to working kind of a side gig at a clinic. And when I went in and only asked for a urine analysis, she blatantly said, "You're only asking for one reason." And I work in pediatric nephrology, so it was just like, our worlds kind of collided in a perfect way. And I told her, I was like, well, we're currently looking for second opinions. And she said, look, I know you're in Katy. I'm all the way in Webster, Clear Lake, but here's my cell phone. Call me and we will see you on Monday, because this was a Saturday. So we did, and we never looked back. We went to UTMB, and their protocol was, we want to see you no less than once a month while we get this under control and figure out what's going on. She didn't necessarily agree with where his medications were, and so we got in the car that Monday, and that became our new normal. And they said, we hope you don't mind coming once a month. And like Milton and I said, this is what we prayed for. We want this type of care. I want the confirmation every month that we're doing the right things, that we're on the right track. And at this point, all we knew he had was nephrotic syndrome. We didn't have any type of specific diagnosis.
Milton, I've been asking your wife a lot of the questions, but what was it like for you to be man of the house, to be the loving dad, and to know what this fight was going to be like, driving between cities and doing everything you can to find the right care for your beloved son?
Well, just to provide for the family, that's the number one goal in this household. And they say like happy life, happy wife at the same time. So y'all let put into it, and then our boy, when we do anything for our boys, and we'll make that drive to Jessica's hometown in Louisiana. We had a team out there, so just be able to provide and be able to care for our son Olin, and find the right team that's going to help us for this long journey that's here, that's going to be with us for us.
Well, and such a blessing that you found them. And Jessica, I know you felt like it was a gift from God, right? That you found the right team for your son.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that I went randomly, again, my husband thought that I was crazy on a Saturday. I said, I'm going to urgent care and just asking for a urine test. He's like, they're going to look at you like you're insane. Well, not only was I right, but I mean, the fact that Ashley was there and there was a nephrologist on staff, like, you can't script that. That is nothing that, without him, that's not possible. So, I fully believe that he's had his hand in all of this, every step of our journey, from him being diagnosed by an allergy doctor to, not to undermine them, but that is not, that's completely opposite of what he would do. So I feel like it's just been such a part of our journey. It really has.
Well, and we picture 100 miles back and forth for those doctor visits, kids in the back seats strapped into their car seats. What do you guys try to make it fun? Do you have any traditions you do, a fun snack or anything to just get you through the road trip?
We do for a little bit, when he was in school and he wasn't, we kind of made it a special trip that, we had a little bit of one-on-one time. And then the times that we did get to bring bigger brother with us, we'll, stop for a special lunch or a little treat. But they've made it really fun there for Olin. So I think at this point, sometimes he looks forward to going. He gets to play in a treasure box, and he gets these things, and it's become just a friendly home for us, which is crazy to think a doctor's office over an hour away, but it is. It's comfortable. It's a good place.
Olin, we're talking about you, little buddy, like you're not even here. How are you doing? Tell us how old you are.
I'm 5 years old.
You're 5.
You just had a birthday. So how old are you now?
6.
Oh, you're 6. Well, happy belated birthday to you and your brother. I have some fun family pictures to show you guys. Oh my goodness, you're such handsome young men. Look at that. We want to throw out a courtesy there to Ethan Avery Photography for sharing these photos of your family. I mean, just such amazing photos here, and I just love seeing you guys together. Milton, do you help cheer your brother on when he has to go to the doctor? What do you do to help him?
Pray for him every single week.
Yeah, and sometimes you get to go, huh? Yeah, I tell you what, I have 2 boys, and I'm not sure they could have sat this still for 10 whole minutes while I was trying to talk, or while their parents were talking. So I'm really impressed with you guys. If you get bored with us and you need to go do something, or you want to go play with that dog, you're welcome to, okay?
Okay.
So good. But we're happy to sit here and look at your handsome faces too, okay? I also have another fun photo I wanted to show. Here we go. So do you guys like football?
Do you like football, Olin?
Yeah, that's a cool picture right there. Do you have a favorite team?
What's your favorite team?
LSU and St.
LSU and Saints. Smart kid.
Nice. There you go. We know where mom's from.
Yes.
That's some pretty good stuff right there. Look at this fun picture. Oh, great. What's the story behind this one?
So this one was when we were able to go in and get his kidney biopsy. And in order to qualify for the biopsy, he needed to have so many relapses within.
And look at him. He looks like he's having fun. And instead, it's like a really serious day. What a good attitude.
Yeah, he's been inspirational. He really has been. I mean, he just rolls with it. And but yeah, he had to have 3 relapses within a certain amount of time. And due to UTMB's persistence and having us go in as often, we were able to detect them and get that biopsy done within that year versus the first treatment plan we're on. We were only supposed to do check-ins every 3 to 6 months. So if that were the case, it definitely would have prolonged our diagnosis by at least a year, just going by how long they would have recorded the relapses. So that's just another, nod to the UTMB team for them being so on it.
Well, and they must make him feel so comfortable because, again, look at this. I mean, it looks like a first day of school pic. It doesn't look like something so serious is going on. Olin, that says a lot about you, buddy. I hope you know how impressed as a mom I am of you. And look here, swimming is also something you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
Both of you like it? Yeah.
That's their favorite.
And then this, look at here. We just have everything going on. Tell me about this.
What is that?
What ball is
Do
that?
you know what that's from?
No.
You don't remember what that's from?
Cowboys.
That was your Space Cowboys. So that and that picture also speaks volumes to us when we see it, and you can see the face swelling and so for us, even going through these pictures, it's just, quite the roller coaster because when I look at that, it reminds me, it was right after one of his major relapses. And so it means he was on such high dosages of steroids. And so he looks like a different child. But, again, kudos to him. You would never know it, But, when we looked at his first day of school pictures from last school year to his last day, those are always fun to see regardless as a parent. But he was coming off of one of his relapses and then him being in remission for a year now, right? So it's just another testimony being able to see, when I look at that picture, I feel like I'm looking at a different child.
Yeah. Well, and then this is one of those relapses you were talking about. So then you get an ambulance ride. And what is that like? When you say a relapse, what does that look like for your family? What does he experience?
Yeah. So like I mentioned before, we do daily testing every single morning. And so that monitors his levels. And if it's just like in the tiniest bit, I alert our UTMB staff and they let me know the course of action. They'll usually, and they work with us, they'll kind of order blood work and we'll go to somewhere here in Katy so that they can get those labs immediately rather than getting something scheduled. So as soon as we see those spikes, we start to take action. This one kind of came out of nowhere. We were actually coming back from out of town and we went straight to the hospital once we got here, and he had, they needed to put him on some Lasix, as they call it, to remove some of what he was experiencing. Sometimes something else could trigger it. It could be strep or it could be something like that will trigger him into one. But after that major relapse, we worked and we started a new treatment plan. And that one it was a long bout, probably a week or two in the hospital. We got home 24 hours. We had to go right back. So we, it's difficult. I want to say Little Milton's probably the one that has to deal with the most of it, because then mom and dad are 100% there. And, but that's why you have a village. So when he does have these relapses again, to bring up UTMB, that picture you saw was 2:00 in the morning, and our ER doctor was on the phone with Dr. Bellashandra all night, midnight, 1 in the morning. The ER doctor came and, she told us, she said, I've been doing this for 30 years and I've never experienced being able to call a specialist overnight and him just be on the phone the whole time. So we really, it's moments like that we are just,
And it almost is like you become one big happy family, right? Like we see this picture with
We do.
your medical team, and
Yes.
I mean, it's just you can feel the closeness just by looking at this photo. What a beautiful thing when you're going through a hard time to have that at UTMB.
Yes, it's pretty incredible. I have both, Dr. B and Ashley. I have them on speed dial per se.
I bet you do.
I text, Ashley and I know what's going on in her personal life now, right? So I'll text her and say, hey, he looks a little different. Should I? And so I'll send her 50 pictures and she'll be like, okay, maybe you're overreacting this time, or, but I have that open line of communication that is, I mean, you can't put a dollar amount, you can't put a life, you can't put anything on what we've found.
Well, I can just tell that your family is so rock solid. The boys look so positive, and the pictures of your family again tell, it's like the picture tells a million stories, right? How do you use your faith to keep you strong through this? Because it can be scary to have to go through a medical journey, especially when from day to day, you don't know what each day holds. How do you do that?
I honestly don't know how you would go through it without it, right? It brings a different level of confidence and comfort, I think would be the word that comes to my mind, because rather than, of course, I would be lying if I didn't say I didn't have those mom moments where I was, a little stressed but our church family has been incredible. Our church family has done a beautiful story on him, as well as, one of their plenty miracles that they've seen happen there. So I think, and I'll let Big Milton speak to that, but everything that we do in our life, that's that's number one. So whether it's a praise or whether it's, a need, it doesn't matter. That is where we look to very first. And I think our sons know that, like you asked Milton, what do you do to help them? And we always say that. What's the number one thing you do for your brother? You praise for him. Yeah. So I'm like, you might not be able to give him his medicine or do these things, but he is a good reminder. They spent a week with their grandmother last week, and he was the one apparently every day was, Olin, did you do your test? Did you do this? So he's a good
Yes, he is.
He's a good reminder for that.
Aww.
But I mean, I don't know if you want to speak to our faith as well, but it's what our family's built upon.
I tell you what, you're a really good big brother. I am so impressed with you, and you just know how big of a difference that makes for your family, and just know that you're a rock star. Okay, don't you ever forget that, because I know it's hard on the sibling. My little boy, when he was actually Olin's age, had cancer, and he had to do chemotherapy every single day for 4 years. And we to this day say it was harder on his brother, who was 3 years older, than it was for him.
Right.
And so I understand, and I see you, and you're incredible. So you just always know that. Okay, so let's talk back to your dad, though. Milton, you want to talk a little more about your faith and how it's helped you?
Well, yeah. So, like Justin said, just firm foundation of it. You just rely on the faith of everything. Take one day at a time. Every second, every minute, every hour counts, and we do our due diligence as a husband and wife, and as a daddy and mommy, just to make sure that we set the foundation, let the boys see what's going on with when we do stuff inside the household. Let them see that you can work through anything if you just have a little faith. So I'm a firm believer of that, and let it run its course, Michelle. So I'm pretty grateful. I'm pretty thankful. It's a gratitude moment for the team of UTMB and how they helped us, how they continue to help us, and it's been a great journey so far.
And I love that they went and got your fur babies.
Yes.
Guys, you did so good. So we have 2 fur babies going on. Introduce them to us.
Yes.
Who is this?
Which one is this one, Olin?
Lulu.
This is Lulu.
And this is Max.
Oh, they are beautiful. How much do you guys love these dogs?
A lot.
A lot.
A whole lot, I bet, huh? Well, they're called man's best friend for a reason, right?
Yes.
They add a lot of love to your lives, I bet.
Yes, they do.
Oh, that is so special. I love seeing them. Well, it's just about time for us to wrap up. Any words of advice from either of you as parents for somebody else who's going through a hard time with their children? It seems like you figured out the formula to, even though it's a difficult journey, to make life really gel for your family. Any final advice for anybody else going through a tough time?
I think, sometimes we get so complacent when we get, I hate the word diagnosis, but when you get some news that you don't want to hear and you just trust everyone, right? You trust the people who, I just think, just make sure you do your due diligence. And if you're not comfortable, it doesn't mean that they're wrong or their treatment plan is wrong. But if it doesn't fit with your lifestyle or if it doesn't fit with what you're feeling specifically, we always talk about that mom gut or that dad gut. Follow it. I am a very huge second opinion is not going to hurt you. And if you're feeling maybe a little bit uneasy with a treatment plan or with the way something went, I can't say it enough. Like, trust your gut and pray about it and go get what you're looking for.
Yes.
And Milton, any last thoughts from you?
Like Jessica, she hit the hammer with the nail right there. Just follow your gut, follow your heart. If you feel that something that's not working the first go around, do your due diligence research and find out what's be the best formula, as you said earlier. What's the best formula for the family
Yeah.
to do times like these? So, yeah, that's what I have to right there. Just really, really rely on your faith and everything, and that you're doing the journey that you may go through. So,
Well, you're a beautiful family inside and out. Thank you for sharing your faith journey, your son's journey, safe travels in between those medical appointments.
thank you.
And
Thank
sweet
you.
Olin and Milton, thank you for joining us. You want to say goodbye to everybody? And thanks for introducing us to your
Bye.
adorable dogs. I love
Max
them
too.
so much. They are so
Bye.
cute,
Thank
just
you
like
so much.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Only good health to all of you. Take care of you. And I hope you'll catch us up soon and let us know how everything's going.
Absolutely. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All
God
right.
bless each and every one of you.
You
God
too.
bless you too. Bye.
All right. You are precious. And I just want to thank you all for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed the Lewis family as much as I have, and I know you have. If you joined us late, perhaps, and you want to see this in its entirety, it's easy to do. You can go to fox26houston.com. You can also go to our Fox 26 YouTube page, our Facebook page, or you can find our Fox local app for all smart TVs. And you can find all episodes of Lunch for the Soul there. We make it as easy for you as we can. Otherwise, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 11:30, it's the place you'll find us for Lunch for the Soul. And I hope to see you back here, same time, same place next week. Have a blessed day, and thank you for blessing mine by being here. Bye bye.